Hello everyone. Today I will tell you when the market going to crash and I'll try to prove my point of view with it. So let's start from the beginning. What do we have now? We have a Joe Biden rating that falling down, and now we have approving rating to a 41.8%, while at the beginning of it was a 54%. And we're seeing that the disapproving of his actions, there is a 53%. And based on this everything, the Biden is praising a lot for the Federal Reserve, and today they're going to be some unscheduled meeting with the Federal Reserve. Yes, they're not going to talk about the federal fund interest rate, but they're going to talk about the discount interest rate. And who knows, right? The main topic can change easily. As we know, the federal fund interest rate is the most important one. They're going to have effect to the whole market, and it's not going to be discussed today. But as I said, the topic can be changed easily by one click, right? So last time when they had exactly the same meeting with exactly the same topic was on the 23rd of November in 2015. And after 3 weeks, they increased the interest rate to a 0.25%. And on the next 3 years, they increased the interest rate to a 2%. And this is what do we have now, right? We have a bad inflation. We have a lot of talking about the increasing interest rate for 4 or 5 times in this year only, right? And this is what it was last time. This is what happened last time, right? At this interest rate tightening cycle, interest rate increasing cycle, the market crashed so bad that haven't been since the Great Depression, right? And finishing everything, the market, the S&P 500 crashed so bad. And the most important thing, like the more important thing, let me say, historically, right? US market, US stock exchange market was feeling itself better when the interest rate was decreasing, when the interest rate was something close to zero, or at the decreasing time. Then when there was a lot of increasing in the interest rate, right? When there is increasing interest rate, they have a lot of pressure to the stock exchange market. And the interesting thing is what? The interesting thing is not the matter how many times they increase the interest rate. What is have some decisive here is the speed of it. So how faster they're increasing the interest rate, the more pressure you have to the stock exchange market. So with the other world, it doesn't matter how many times they will increase. The matter things is the speed of it. So this is only one way. This is only one side of my point of view. And let's come to the second one. We're going to talk about the oil price. The oil price is reaching to $100 for a barrel. And what will happen if the price will reach to $100 for a barrel? If we know, right, let me show you the story of the price. At the beginning of the year, the oil price was $77 for a barrel, right? Increasing the price of oil is good for the country who is exporting the oil, who have the oil reserve a lot, and they're selling to the other countries, right? It's good for the economies. But nowadays we come to the time when there is there is no much influence to the economies of these exporters countries, so they are not fully dependent on the oil price now. But at the same time, to the other countries who is importing the oil, who doesn't have the oil reserve, or who is not extracting the oil, it's going to have a really massive impact to the economies by increasing, because when the oil price is increasing, we're going to have increasing in the products, we're going to have increasing in the electricity and the other stuff, we're going to have increasing the price of the transportation, right? This is the most important thing, because everything comes with the supply chain, right? With the transportation, if the transportation cost will increase, the cost of everything will increase. So price of $100 of the oil will show us the increasing in the transportation. This is going to be really bad for the other countries, and still for the US, it's going to have impact for the second quarter of this year. They may be increasing in the inflation for 0.5%. Same for the European countries as well. So getting oil price to $100, this is effect that we're going to have. The US inflation going to increase for 0.5%, may increase, right, to a 0.5% in the second quarter of this year. Same for the European countries. And imagine what we're going to be with the with the developing countries, with the countries that in the second part, like let me say the second economies, all right, we will call it developing countries. So what will happen with the economies, all right, how massive impact, how badly they're going to feel. Even now we have a high inflation with like with all around the world, right? US have inflation for 7%, almost 7.5%. And imagine if they're going to be increasing in the oil price to $100 if the price will reach it. And now we're really close to it. The price is $92 and the price reached to a $95 as well. So, you know, this is my bad news for you, right? This is a date when the price gonna, this is a date when we're gonna see the market crash. We have a two options here. We have not the two options, right? We have a two sides here. We have first one, the Federal Reserve meeting, right? Federal Reserve, they're planning to tighten the economy, planning to tighten the interest rate for more than maybe 4 or 5%. Most of the economies, most of the investors saying that there might be a 5 times increasing in the interest rate. And as I said earlier, you know, it doesn't matter how many times they're going to increase. The matter thing is like how fast they're going to increase it. So imagine if they're going to be 5 times increasing in the interest rate in this year only, how big impact, how big influence it's going to have to the market, like how fast and how deep the market may crash. You know, always make your own decision, always use your own brain, and always like use like don't be only optimistic with everything. Just try to be realistic, try to have both views on your head, like look at the positive side and look at the negative side, and always make your own decision, as I said it earlier. So this was it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button for me, for my you know, all this pressure, all these intentions, like right, trying to give all the information for you. Wish you all the wealth.